The Two and Out CFL podcast with Travis Currah and Sheldon Jones starts now.
As we get you ready for week 12 of the 2025 CFL season, it's Travis Currah and Brazilian Ty. Man, it's been a long time, and I'd like to say it's good to see your face, but I'm seeing your face.
Wait a minute.
You almost didn't make the show because you almost burnt your place down over the weekend. We got to hear this story. You knew this was coming.
As my company's safety coordinator in training, this isn't a great look. But anyway, so a couple of people that I know, they have kids in daycare. They sell bacon by the box. It's an 11-pound box.
So you're their number one customer.
Yeah, I spend $300 a year. Minimum.
Today's National Bacon Lovers Day, by the way. So
well, then I know what I'm having for supper. So what I do is I will cook an 11-pound box, let it cool, vacuum seal it, freeze it. And then I can just take out the portion I want and nuke it. So on Sunday, I believe it was, we have the receipts in the group chat, pretty sure it was Sunday. I decide that's the day I'm going to cook all this bacon. I am on the fourth or fifth batch. So I cook about 10 pieces at a time, and I open it up. So it's like 5 minutes aside. I open it up. There's a little bit of a grease fire. Nothing crazy. I go to take the bacon off because I'm going to let this just dissipate, which inevitably just drips more grease on the fire. And now it's out of control. So I get all the bacon off as fast as I can. My Traeger and my barbecue sit 90 degrees to each other. And the dish of cooked bacon I have is sitting on the barbecue tray, which is right next to the Traeger. And this fire is not going out. I close the lid. I'm just going to see if it'll burn off. Now the flames are coming out the grease spout.
Oh, no.
It looks like a jet engine. I haven't even told my parents this, so I'm not even telling them I'm on this show.
Okay.
They're on holidays.
Okay. They don't need anything to listen to for the road trip?
No, I think they're fine. I'll tell them when they get home.
Okay.
They don't need to worry. So then I open the thing back up because I'm like, well, I can't have that. It's going to burn. It's going to melt the vinyl and everything on the patio. Now the flames are getting unruly, and I'm like, okay, now what? So I take a step back into my patio door, and it's even worse now, to the point where I can't even reach over and grab the bacon off the barbecue. And the flames are starting to get so high that they're starting to just kind of wrap around.
Oh, no.
As it touches the siding. So I have no option at this point. Last year at our safety stand down, I won a boat safety kit as a door prize. Lucky for me, it has a 2.5-pound ABC fire extinguisher.
You put it to use.
And because I didn't panic and throw water on it, which would have been, I probably would have died because all that water would have splashed back at me on fire.
Would have not been good. I
grabbed the fire extinguisher and sprayed it. Now, did I use my fire extinguisher training the first time? Is what happened. What happened? It started again. And I'm like, oh yeah, pass, pull, aim, squeeze, sweep. So I sprayed the hell out of my Traeger. So now that's unusable until I can clean it. And I had to throw out all the bacon because I wasn't chancing it.
That's the sad part.
Yeah, whatever.
I'm also surprised you're not chancing it.
Yeah, I still got another 22 pounds in the freezer.
Okay.
So I don't know if it overwhelmed the trough that goes into the downspout and it spilled in the fire pot, or if it just got so hot in there that the grease that was on the drip tray ignited. So regardless of that, even if I've only used it once, and then I cook bacon, I'm cleaning the whole thing.
Yeah.
Because I don't clean the grates or anything because I don't want to lose the smoke. I will switch out the foil tray,
right,
and put a new one in. So So I'll just do that every time, and I'll vacuum it all out. But I'm not gonna clean it because you don't want to lose the smoke out of it. But now I have no choice because there's chemical extinguisher all over it.
That's rough.
Yeah, and last year in the spring, it was Masters weekend. It was the Saturday night. Ow. Yes, I know you're there.
Okay, I've heard the kitty, and we should bring Kitty on. Leon, right?
Yes, Leon Cat. No, he's not having it.
He's not.
He doesn't
having
like
it.
to be picked up.
Okay, Leon Cat's idol. So if you hear a kitty, that's who it is, chewing on his ankle.
Yeah, but Masters weekend of 2024, that Saturday night, I was searing a steak. Too lazy to turn on the Traeger to do it on the cast iron on there. I did it on the stovetop. I didn't text Travis about it to ask him what I should do, and I put butter in the pan. You don't need butter in cast iron. Yeah.
You started with butter.
Yeah. And so I went to flip it, and I didn't use tongs. And instead of flipping it like you're supposed to away from you,
what did you use? A fork? Your fingers?
Well, it was a inch.
Okay. You squeezed it and then okay.
So I squeezed the far end and pulled it towards me, and then I didn't want it to splatter, so I'm trying to go down slow, and then my thumb got too close and got burned by the butter, so I went like this, and I burnt my cornea. I had a couple of burn marks on my cheek and my neck, and so I called my dad, and I was like, "Is Mom home?" Because I knew she had a thing with the nieces for like Christmas, or not Christmas, like her church concert or whatever. And he's like, "No, she's still out. Like, what's up?" I'm like, "I just got scalding hot butter in my eye." And like I've got a paper towel, like a soaked paper towel with cold water. I couldn't flush it out because I can't get my head in the sink. And he's like, "Okay, well, I'll come get you." I'm like, "Oh, I should go to the hospital." He's like, "Yeah. What do you think?" And so I get there. They freeze it. They put the dye in it because he's gonna check to see how bad the burn is with the blue light or the black light or whatever you want to call it, like the not infrared.
Right.
It's like a blue light. So he turns that machine on. I've got all the orange stuff in my eye, and he turns the lights out it's on and off. It's like the procedural room in the ER, and he's like, "Oh, I don't even need to look through this." It was like 97% was covered in butter.
Oh.
So now I get an eye patch. And I show up at our friend Brandon's parents to watch the Masters on the Sunday, and his dad comes home. He's like, "What the hell did you do?" So I told him that story. I tell you that story, tell you this story. That same stand down that I won the fire extinguisher at was the Thursday after that happened. So I show up with burn marks on my neck and cheek, wearing sunglasses indoors because I didn't want to wear my eye patch. And the lights were so bright.
This is why women live longer
I'm in the
than
office.
men.
I am the safety guy now for my entire company.
I'm proud of you for cooking, but man.
Yeah,
Man.
I don't know. Just wasn't thinking. You know, you play video games for 14 hours a day, you get a little...
So Sheldon's on his way to your favorite province, Manitoba, and he's going to
Mom and Dad are there right now.
Oh, really? Really?
Yeah.
So that's why you're on the show today. And I don't want your ego to grow too much, but actually somebody on YouTube recently asked, do you still talk to Brazilian Ty? And I said, well, I try not to, but...
The kayfabe right now is thick.
Now,
but you're a hard guy to get a hold of because you sleep till 4 p.m.
I do not have a schedule that anyone can.
It's conducive to friendship, marriage, fun.
Hey, she's on about the same schedule as me.
Yeah,
so
you lucked out there.
Yeah, I did luck out there. So we would do the power rankings later on. So I think we start with them. Sheldon gave me his, so I'll put his on the screen, but I'll put yours on the screen. And I know that Tycat fans that have any memory of you being on the show are very nervous.
One in particular is going to be very upset.
I was actually very surprised that you...
I thought about going full Razor Ramon with it.
I thought you were just going to put the Tycats at number 9, but you didn't. So I'll put them on the screen right now and let us know your thoughts for the power rankings going into week 12.
You can't not have Saskatchewan at 1. They've won 3 straight. They're plus 51. Like, it's ridiculous how good they are. They might actually be for real. Let's not jump to conclusions. Right, left Calgary at number... Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
Here's the thing with for real. You remember the 16-2 Argos? They lost in the East Final. Edmonton, when they went 16-2, lost in the West Final. So are those teams for real? I don't even know what for real means.
Regular season real.
Okay, regular season real.
Was it 2022? The Riders were 6-1 at one point, and I kept telling people this isn't real.
You did.
They're going to fall apart, and they did.
So you might. Are they going to fall apart this year?
As with any team, if it's quarterback. If Harris stays healthy, I don't think they have an issue. And that, of course, leads to your O-line staying healthy and everything else.
Yeah, okay.
Calgary, with that defense, it's just really hard to drop them. I know they're 1-2 in their last 3, negative 23, but it was one bad outing. Winnipeg, they're horrible is still other teams pretty good. And like horrible for them is different than horrible for other teams because they've been so good for so long. They took BC to OT.
Yep.
Like that's their one loss. Or no, sorry, that was Hamilton. Winnipeg is just I can't drop them. Like I think their run is done, but I'm just not ready to write them off. Hamilton at 4th. Negative 19 point differential. They're 1-2. They split with BC. Did take that second game to overtime and lost. So it's hard. That's why I have them ahead of BC is because BC didn't BC beat them. They split the season or they split that series, but that second game was still overtime. Montreal, I probably should have dropped them lower, but I just feel like even with where their quarterback play is, I think they're still in a better spot than Ottawa and Edmonton. Although they are minus 47 in their last 3 games.
Ouch.
Yeah, which is nuts. Ottawa is 2-1. Same with Edmonton. Ottawa's plus 21. They beat Calgary by 20. They only lost to Winnipeg by 3. Edmonton stayed close with Hamilton. They beat Montreal and have Toronto. They're minus 21. They're 0-3. They just haven't been good all year. And of their last 3 weeks, Edmonton is 3-6, Ottawa's 3-7, Winnipeg's 5-4. That's 11-17 total. Like their fan is probably really pissed off.
That hit me.
But I mean, it's just I can't put them above anybody. And they standings wise, you are who you are. They're 2-6. They're the worst team in the league.
Yeah. The reigning Grey Cup champs. Now, historically, the Argos would win the Grey Cup and then suck the next year. Recently, we had Mike Hogan on the show to preview them, and he called me out because the year after they won the Grey Cup in 2022, they went 16-2.
Yeah,
but then they
still
lost. Hamilton on bye this week. Speedy B officially retires and has now relocated to Hamilton. So we'll see if he's... Oh, I just set you up for that one. Set you up hard. Here's Sheldon's power rankings. That can't be right. Let's see if I can change that on the fly. Yes, I can. So he's got the Riders at number 1, the Ticats at 2, then the Stamps, then the Lions, then the Bombers, then the Elks, then the RedBlacks, then the Argos, then the Alouettes. So a couple different takes.
I can find reason to put Montreal in ninth with how bad they've been the last 3 weeks. I don't know. It's hard. Like, as much as I hate on Hamilton, it's how much I kind of have a soft spot for Montreal just because I like their jerseys. They're always fun to watch. Yeah, they ruined my mid-20s, but and yours.
Yeah, and I know they had Taylor Loeffler
There's something there.
Well,
there's something there.
We were talking, Sheldon and I, we have something for Canadian safeties, and you did too. Like Taylor Loeffler.
I still have the cup.
You do?
Oh, yeah.
And then we had, right now, the Alouettes, he's hurt, Marc-Antoine Dequoy. Mm-hmm. And then now with the Argos this year, Derek Sluka. And Loeffler, he known for his play in Winnipeg, but man, those Canadian, and a Vanier Cup champion, by the way. He was an Alouette, but then COVID killed the 2020 season, and then Loeffler never came back. That's the biggest tragedy out of that whole era in the CFL. The Montreal Alouettes.
Before we go too far, like Speedy B, like when they finally started giving him the ball, he was probably arguably, if not, it might not even be arguable, he was the most electrifying player to watch in the CFL. And we had been saying, like, yes, get him on the returns, but you get this guy in the offense, he makes people miss, he makes plays, and they just weren't utilizing him. And then he went on that streak. I can't remember what year it was. I want to say like 2019. I think it was just before COVID or the season right after, where he had like a 5-game stretch of 100 yards. And then like 6 out of 7, or like, it was ridiculous the run he went on when they started using him, and not just as a special teams guy. And it was just so fun to watch, and it felt cathartic because it was something that everybody had been saying, like, you need to use him, and then they finally do, and we were all right, and then they never won.
Yeah, it took them a few years to start using him in the offense. Yeah. And when they did, 2017, he had his first 1,000-yard season, 8 touchdowns. Right. But then in 2018, 1,400 yards, 11 touchdowns. 2019, the Ticats make the Grey Cup. They do lose to the Bombers. They go 15-3. Dane Evans, Jeremiah Masoli there, 1,550 yards and 13 touchdowns. When they got him on the offense, he was a monster.
Yeah, it was so fun to watch.
The Alouettes are at home to start Week 12 against the visiting Blue Bombers, who are 7-point favorites, and the over-under at 49.5. But unfortunately, Bombers making the news for all the wrong reasons. They have built a culture over the past several years of keeping players accountable both on and off the field, I would argue, and they brought back a player named Demerio Houston. He was a Winnipeg Blue Bomber before signing with Calgary, and this offseason he had a domestic violence charge against him, so he was released. I will add this in an article that came out in March, that the charge was dismissed without leave following a review of the evidence. And as of March, it did mention over the next few months the charge is expected to be expunged from his record. So that is a pretty... I know sometimes where there's smoke, there's fire. But... man, the allegations are terrible, and I don't want to defend anything like this, of course. Mike O'Shea has defended the signing, saying that integrity always comes first in that locker room. But, I mean, being expunged from the record, if there's no legal, anything against him, then he's going to be on the field.
And I mean, people are still going to look at it. I mean, we've seen that with NFL players that never leaves, even if charges are dropped or they find no malfeasance or anything like that. It's still going to be something that sticks with them. I don't think it's going to be brought up in broadcasts or anything like that. It's going to be Twitter and Instagram and all that stuff where you're going to hear it, see it, read it. I would suspect that Winnipeg has done their due diligence for this and has decided that, nothing, no wrongdoing, or, if it's expunged, there's got to be a reason for that. We're in Canada, especially Western Canada, junior hockey. We've gone through that. We see stuff like that and what happens, and it paints the whole hockey culture with a certain paintbrush. The NFL has done this, the UFC to a point, especially bringing in guys like Greg Hardy. It just seems that, yes, integrity is the word that gets bantered around. And I'm not saying that Houston is it's just the allegations are out there. Like you said, it's in the stratosphere of the sport now. It's just one of those things that makes it look like, as long as you can play and help us win games, we don't care. This is what it looks like on the surface.
It does look.
It's what it looks like on the surface. For people who have read these articles and kind of followed it as best we can. Not that we're getting tons of news. We know the record's expunged, charges have been dropped, all that stuff. So we don't know what really happened, but just on the surface, that's what it looks like.
Yeah, and you know what? Sometimes charges do get dropped, and for many reasons, and innocence can be low on the list of reasons sometimes. Yeah. Sometimes there's a history, and there has been a history of accusations against him. So, but you're right. It does appear that, look, the Bombers have really struggled in the secondary, and they're willing to look past some of this stuff of the past little while to bring them in to help the team. And that's it can be noise that most teams probably would rather not have surrounding their team. And I think
that if there is a team in the CFL right now that can handle that noise, it would be Winnipeg.
Yeah,
just
maybe it is.
The front office and coaching staff continuity that they have.
Yeah.
They're able to... I'm not necessarily saying whatever, we can handle any distraction. We don't care what the distraction is. I think they're comfortable with bringing him back for their reasons, and they're going to be able to... I don't think it will affect them day to day. Of course, I think, something happens on the field. If he gets a misconduct penalty or something stupid, somebody's going to run with that in a post game.
Now, if that's CFL, just the nature of the beast. They could have put, they have the violence against women policy there. They could have said, hey, we're not going to register this contract. We're not going to allow any team to sign him. But the fact is, he's out there, and the Bombers have brought it in.
And all the teams and the league have legal counsel, so they know what they're looking at when they look at this stuff.
Yep.
I'm not defending. I'm not saying that he didn't do it. I'm not calling him completely innocent. I'm just saying that they looked at it. They feel comfortable. Yeah. Yell about it on Twitter. You're not going to change anything.
The Montreal Alouettes are going to look to James Morgan as their starting quarterback here. So here's the history. Davis Alexander's on the 6-game injured list with a hamstring issue. McLeod Bethel Thompson, he's on the 6-game injured list. Some have said it's kind of a phantom injury, not performing, but I think they're calling it an elbow issue. And now Caleb Evans is out for the year. So the Alouettes have signed Shea Patterson, who has spent time with Winnipeg and Saskatchewan. They do also have Cameron Dukes, who spent time with Toronto. But James Morgan got into the game last week against the BC Lions. He did throw a touchdown and an interception, but it just seems like that quarterback position is not doing so hot for Montreal right now. And they finally found some stability, it felt like. Since Anthony Calvillo, it was just quarterback after quarterback after quarterback. But this year, it's unstable again.
And it makes me wonder if Davis Alexander probably shouldn't have played in that game. I can't remember who it was against.
When he came back, and then...
He came back, you could tell he was banged up, ran in that touchdown, and after that, it was obvious he wasn't playing the next week. He also chipped a tooth, I think, that night.
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
Right?
But I've been a fan of him on the sideline with the chew spitting into. I'm assuming that you're a fan of that.
You're speaking my language here. Yeah, I'm sure my doctor would love to hear that when he's got me on blood pressure meds. But like this is a quarterback carousel, but it's not due to anything that the front office has done. They've got players, they've just gotten hurt. I mean, Bethel Thompson maybe a little past the expiration date. Who knows? We'll see. But like Davis Alexander getting hurt, and now you're just throwing guys in who don't have the reps. And yes, practice reps are one thing, and we talked about it before the show about how, like, after Labor Day, the football gets so much better. It's just going to be the same with James Morgan. The more reps he gets in game, the better he'll get. It's going to be a little bit of a baptism by fire, some growing pains, obviously. Going up against the defense you can kind of pass on right now. So, but two, with a young quarterback, a guy who doesn't have a lot of reps, you want to rely on the run game. I don't know if you really can do, like, Winnipeg will give up yards. Maybe not. You gotta keep working at it, though. If you abandon the run, I think you're hanging him out to dry.
He was selected by the New York Jets in the 4th round of the 2020 NFL draft.
Can we take a look at Jets quarterback draft history? You tell me if that means anything.
Yeah, that's true. That's very fair.
Other than Mark Sanchez going to 2 straight AFC championship games, getting beat by the Steelers in one of them. Just saying, that was 2010.
that was Revis Island era, right?
Yeah. And Rex Footy Ryan.
Yeah.
Also, the Steelers lost to their current quarterback in the Super Bowl that year. But it's just one of those. It's like, yeah, great, you got drafted by the Jets. A lot of guys get drafted by the Jets because they're terrible at drafting.
Now, here's the thing. How many quarterbacks have we seen in the CFL that when they come off the bench and the defense, and normally in that case, the game's out of hand, or they don't have film on the guy, and now prepping as the guy, it just brings a whole new set of challenges. And now they don't have Walter Fletcher, who they let go last year. Sean Thomas Erlington is a game time decision for the Alouettes, and the amount of starters that they have hurt right now they're still a good football team if they are healthy. Tyson Philpott.
Everybody, right?
That's true. Tyson Philpott's hurt. Marc-Antoine Dequois hurt. David Dallaire got knocked out by Micah Alway last week. He's hurt. James Letcher Jr. returning, hurt. Austin Mack hurt. Justin Lawrence in the O-line hurt. Like, the amount of starters that they have out right now. So it is a tough assignment. He'll be going against Willie Jefferson and the Bomber defense. I am assuming they will say, please just try to avoid those long arms of number 5.
You're asking your offensive line to keep them upright.
Yeah.
That's it. We can't afford to lose another guy.
Yeah. Just don't get hurt. That's your number one assignment here on Thursday night. KB and Ento, on a bright note, the corners are going to be back playing for Montreal, and for Winnipeg, Peyton Logan is going to be making his season debut for the Bombers. Now, Trey Vavel has had a few return touchdowns, but now he's been starting on defense, so maybe Peyton Logan will be able to spell him off on returns. One stat I will note is that he had 11 fumbles over 3 seasons in Calgary, and Winnipeg probably won't put up. Well, Calgary didn't want to put up with it anymore, so while electric, he's going to need to hang on to the ball to stick long time with Winnipeg. One player that I think's not getting the love simply because there is another Manitoba player that gets all the love from the Bombers, and that's Brady Oliveira. But Nick Dembski is having quietly a really good season right now. He's already got 5 touchdowns.
At 100 years old.
640 yards, and he's born in 1993. Ty, so he's younger than us.
Yeah.
Unfortunately. Well, by a lot, actually. Wow. I feel like he's been in the league for 10 years and he's still...
He'd be 32.
Wow.
But 88.
He's on pace to smash some career highs, which is... It's wild to see. But again, when you're on Brady Oliveira's team and he gets all the awards, sometimes Dembski gets forgotten about, and the Alouettes better not forget about number 10, because he's been the steady presence in that receiving core as the offense has certainly been unsteady since the beginning of the year.
And I think if Winnipeg has taught other teams anything, is that you can't sell out to stop Oliveira, because Zach Collaros has weapons that can catch the ball, and so can Oliveira. But yeah, Dembski, when you look at that run that he had, when he first got to Winnipeg and how mad Rider fans were, and it was warranted. It's just he shows up every week, doesn't miss a lot of games, makes the plays he needs to. He caught a ball without looking. Like,
that was an amazing catch.
Picture of consistency, really.
Yeah. Know
what you're going to get from him week in, week out, and he delivers.
So
now it's hard to deliver when Streveler is your quarterback.
Fair. And if we get, Zach throwing interceptions, but it does seem like this is a game the Bombers need to win. Going into Labor Day next week for a back-to-back with the Riders. Two heavyweight
tilts. That being said, Montreal needs it too. Like sitting in second place, only 4 points up on Ottawa. Ottawa's got Edmonton this week. Like, that game could go either way.
I really think it could. I think everybody's leaning towards Edmonton, but I'm not so...
Yeah.
Man, if it weren't for challenging that pass interference last week, it's quite...
They might have lost that. All.
Yeah. The crumb of it all. Look at you with the transition to the Ottawa RedBlacks hosting the Elks, and the Elks are actually slight favorites by about a field goal.
It's like I didn't take a year and a half off.
53.5 is the over-under here, and Drew Brown is out. Dustin Crum starts. He does have experience. He is I find he's one of those guys that when he comes off the bench, the Crum back. They almost came back last week as well. Tied it up with that missed field goal return with Khalil Pimpleton, but didn't quite get there.
Hit the over.
See? There you go. So Crum does get the start against Edmonton. But man, Ottawa still has a great receiving core with Justin Hardy and Geno Lewis and Pimpleton and Addison. They just have to get them the ball, and they have to do it consistently. It seems like they've been getting off to slow starts. Edmonton, on the other hand, with Cody Fajardo in there, sometimes the way that this guy plays, you can't look at it reasonably. Somehow he just finds a way to get things done, and he could continue to get it done on Friday night.
I just want to know what Killam's plan is, because we saw it earlier in the year where they were basically switching back and forth. If he runs Fajardo out there for 95% of the plays, then I think Edmonton runs away with it. If he has that quick trigger where they're in trouble and he decides to go to Ford, all bets are off.
Yeah, I wonder what it would take for Fajardo to lose his job. I do think he's got a pretty firm grasp on it.
I think so now.
Yeah.
But I mean, let's say he throws 3 picks in that first half. We've seen it before. We're Rider fans. We've watched Fajardo do stuff like that. We've watched a lot of quarterbacks in this league do that. But I think with Killam making that decision that he's going to be your number one guy, it makes me lean Edmonton just for the fact that Crum hasn't had a lot of starts, hasn't been, the guy this year. And like you said, I think Ottawa's got something, They just got to put it all together and stay healthy. And that starts with your quarterback, of course, like it does for every team. Like you said, getting those receivers that they have, doesn't matter if you don't have somebody who can get them the ball.
It is a sentiment that maybe Bob Dice is the weakest coach in the CFL. It seems like no matter if the players love him or not, they can't consistently win. And it is a weird situation with Rick Campbell being there as the special teams guy.
We know what that is.
Yeah.
Everybody knows what that is. It seems like whenever, and we were guilty of it, of jumping on a guy, it's like, how has he not got a chance yet? It was Bob Dice. It was Killam. It's guys like that. Dickinson, when the Riders are a really good special teams team. They get that chance. They're not built. They don't have, I don't want to call it a skill set. They're just not a head coach. And that's not a slight on them. It's just the reality. Like, you look, maybe Dice is better with a Calgary or a Winnipeg. Obviously better teams, all that stuff. But it always seems to be the coaches that don't necessarily come out of nowhere, but have been not just like they've played, they've coached positionally, they've coached coordinator wise, they've done everything. And it's the ones, and these guys have too, but it's the ones that nobody talks about that seem to get that step up. Like when O'Shea took that job, it didn't feel to me like everybody was on a soapbox about how he needs a shot. He needs a shot. They just gave him the shot. They were comfortable. They knew what they had.
At the same time, O'Shea, like if he doesn't win the Grey Cup in 2019, he probably gets fired, and 6 years later he's still the head coach. And there are some rumblings within Winnipeg. I don't think they want O'Shea gone. I think maybe they're just he's loyal to his guys and promoting within and that kind of thing. And we're seeing that maybe struggle a little bit this season so far.
And good teams age out.
Season.
If you keep keeping your veterans and relying on those guys, it eventually at some point, we saw it with the Patriots, they would get rid of guys and it looked like it was a year too early because they'd have a really good first year with their new team. And then after that, they'd fall off the cliff. It's like, we'll lose one good year. That's fine. We can fill that role. But Winnipeg just kept running it back for so long but they were winning. So it made sense. And it's hard. I would argue it's probably harder to build through the draft and everything in the CFL just because of the player movement and free agency and everything as compared to the other league down south. But if he doesn't win that Grey Cup, who knows where we're at.
This year's been wild as far as rookies contributing right out of the draft. It looks like one of them might be returning to the lineup for Calgary, so we'll talk about that later on. Now,
and I'm not looking forward to that.
Last week, I'm just looking at Ottawa. They held Brady Oliveira to 3.5 yards a carry, 10 carries, 35 yards, and a touchdown. And I know that Edmonton did beat Montreal, but Justin Rankin in that game, 5 carries, 0 yards. He did have 88 yards receiving, so he was an impact. Ottawa can be tough to run against. That being said, Fajardo has been able to consistently move the ball for the Elks, even though there were some struggles with Keon Julian Grant in that Montreal game. Julian Grant gets the winning touchdown there, and they win. Then they end up beating the Argos last week in a crazy game. So they certainly can beat the RedBlacks. But I do think that they want to get Rankin going, and he's on quite the roll here. He's got 2 games in a row with over 80 yards receiving, and last week he had 92 yards on the ground along with 87 yards receiving and a touchdown. I think that is the key to Edmonton's success here, and it's been helpful to Fajardo in the offense.
And we've talked about teams that can't rush the ball don't win football games. Even in the CFL, if you abandon it, teams are just going to send 3 guys. They're going to drop or 8 into coverage, or sorry, 9 into coverage, or they'll rush 4 and drop 8. It's hard. And you see teams, they run 7 times and get 15 yards and abandon it. If Edmonton can establish the run early, get their O-line involved, control the line of scrimmage, like you said, Ottawa can stop the run. Right? Rankin was held to 0 yards, but if they don't give up on it, and you're going to have some drives that go 2 and out. Every team does. It's just how can your defense hold it, and you come back out, try it again, try to wear that defense down, get some prolonged possession time, and start beating up on the defense. And I think, with the continuity of their starting quarterback they have now, they're not second guessing it. And if they can get Rankin involved, they've got, like you said, they've got pieces in the receiving core. And Fajardo he's won in this league. He hasn't won a Grey Cup, he's won a Grey Cup as a backup, but he's won games
with Montreal. 20.
Oh, that's right too. Yeah, sorry, 2023.
And they still got rid of him.
Yeah. I forgot about that. That was a wild month. But it's just one of those things where, if they are able to use the pieces they have and not abandon a game and stick to their game plan, and how in the last 5 years, how much have we talked about, and you and Sheldon probably have too, but the offensive line play in Edmonton has been subpar, and it's starting to come together. Guys are starting to play better. That's a huge part of being able to establish the run and control line of scrimmage. And you find out, early whether or not a team is going to be able to do anything. So I don't think it's going to take very long to know who's going to have control of that game.
Yeah, we saw when Fajardo started against Saskatchewan and was getting beat up by that defensive line. But once the defense has to respect the run game that Edmonton's bringing, that kind of hopefully that changes things.
And there is a difference between a run defense, like a run blitz and a pass blitz. So if they're going to send a pass blitz, there's going to be holes. And if a team can adjust to that and get the draw working, wow.
I honestly don't know how to talk about it, because the fact that Edmonton could win their 3rd game in a row
and still be last place in the West
before Labor Day, even with a 3-game win streak, it sounds strange that this is
uncharted territory for the Elks.
It is. 3 games under 500, 10 games into the season, or 11, it would be 10 for them. That sounds crazy. And then they've got a back-to-back with Calgary, so that's a tough assignment. But
they beat Ottawa this week. All 5 teams in the West would be better than the 3rd place team in the East.
We should have the double crossover.
If they ever get to 10 teams, I said this from the get-go, if you've got an 18-game schedule with 10 teams, you play everybody twice, scrap divisions, 1 and 2 buys, top 6 make it, done.
It could happen. However, I think the diehards would be fine with it, but when it could happen where all the playoffs are played in the West, and look, I would say tough luck. It's pro sports.
It's not like teams got to get on a train anymore.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, if you want to talk about traditionalists hating something, wait till baseball expands and realigns.
Oh,
I can't wait.
There's going to be a lot of hair being pulled out there.
Oh, man.
But yeah, RedBlacks are pretty banged up going into this one too. The Elks, their injury report is 2 players, and one of them is load management, which has now found its way onto CFL injury reports, and I could see the eye roll happening.
Actually, you know what? In the CFL, I agree with it. They don't get paid enough to not be able to take day off.
When you're getting played like $40 million to play basketball, like, come on. At least that's what I think.
I mean, it worked for the Raptors in 2019. Only
it did.
Not having Kawhi not play back-to-backs. That's a totally different story.
Robert
in
Priester,
a way less physical league.
Yeah. Robert Priester has been a headache. And I didn't mean that as a joke. He's been a headache for opposing offenses. He's dealing with a head injury. He hasn't practiced, so he's out. Braylon Addison's actually going to be out dealing with a rib issue right now. Keelan White, the rookie, looks like he's available, dealing with an ankle issue. So maybe that means more targets than number 2, Justin Hardy, and number 87, Geno Lewis for Dustin Crum. The Saturday doubleheader starts in Toronto. It is the C&E game. I think I saw somewhere around 22,000 tickets sold. So I guess BC fans travel well, Tyrell.
Not only that, doubleheader on Saturday for the CFL. College football starts at 10 a.m. in Dublin, Ohio, or in Dublin, Ireland.
Who's playing there?
Kansas State and Iowa or something like that.
In Dublin?
Yeah. I almost said Dublin, Ohio, but that is a place as well.
Okay.
It's going to be the best Saturday of the year. I can't wait. And the Jays will have a day. Like, it's going to, I'm not going outside. I might not even look out a window. I'm definitely not going to cook any bacon. I can tell you that.
I saw the Jays record in their last 20 minus that series against Colorado. And are you starting to get a bit worried?
Still, I'll tell you this. Let me pull it up here quick, because this is important. 4.5 games up on the Yankees. It's really 5.5 because they have the tiebreaker.
Nice.
And then in the wild card, that's 5 and 4 is 9. They're 4.5 games up on Houston for second place in the AL. I'm not worried yet.
Okay.
Shane Bieber starts on Friday. We're fine.
This is an unprecedented time with you. The Jays, the Oilers, and the Riders are all good.
And the Steelers are probably going to go 9-8.
Hey, that's a winning season.
Mike Tomlin's never finished under 500. Yeah, no. I don't like these last 2 springs have been an absolute disaster for my mental health.
And your credit card.
No, because the Oilers didn't win a Stanley Cup, so all I had to do was buy a conference champs hat.
Oh. You bought a conference champs hat?
I did in 06 too.
You did?
In 06, I bought it before game 1 against Carolina.
But these last ones, you bought them after?
After.
Oh, okay.
I didn't buy this year's yet. I didn't like the look of it. I think they look dumb compared to last year's.
So you were saying before the show that there's a football game. Tell me this again.
So October 8th to, I believe it was December 1st, there will be a football game every single night.
That's wild.
College, NFL, CFL. Every single night.
Wow. I should mention.
I'm so excited. I reactivated my IPTV. I am in debt payoff mode because I was an idiot.
Was?
What? Well, yeah. I mean, I did almost burn my entire condo building down. Yeah, I am in debt payoff mode. It's going to be TV with football, projector with whatever I feel like playing on my PlayStation, and hanging out with Leon.
You haven't
not
changed
spending money
at all. Well, not spending money as that is a new tie.
Mom did make me go get a physical.
Oh, it is a new tie.
That was her birthday present.
Okay.
It was pretty cheap.
U Sports football actually kicks off this week in the East as well. Quebec, the Maritimes, Ontario getting underway. Canada West doesn't start until next week. And last year's Heck Crichton winner Taylor Elgersma is with the Green Bay Packers. I guess a pretty decent battle for third string in Green Bay. I think he won the team's like home run derby, so he's quite the athlete there. And he's big, so that helps him out there. So Laurier brings in Callum Wither, who transferred from Ohio University, where Curtis Rourke was, Nathan Rourke was, and now he's with the Laurier Golden Hawks, so they're going to look to continue their success.
Can I put a future on
Laurier? I actually don't know.
I don't. It's not on Bet365. I can tell you that.
Okay.
Not that I checked.
So Laurier has the Guelph Griffins this weekend. Toronto Varsity Blues against Carleton. The Ottawa GGs against Waterloo. The Western Mustangs against Queens. The McMaster Marauders against York. That's the OUA. And the RSEQ, it's Sherbrooke and McGill. And then in the AUS, it's Acadia and St. Mary's and Bishops and Mount Allison. As
let's go Mounties.
Let's go. That's a great name. That is a great name.
Well, and our high school quarterback went there.
Really?
Yes. Jake Hotchkiss.
Wow. That's a long time.
That's where he played his college ball.
That's awesome. Okay. So it starts in Toronto. C&E game. The BC Lions 3.5-point favorites. The over-under at 55.5. And the BC Lions offense has been rolling. And
and Toronto's been rolling over.
Toronto's offense is not the problem, though.
No, it's not.
And that's why I just see, Nathan Rourke might have a nice fantasy day. Keon Hatcher is now the leading receiver in the CFL. His last 3 games, 19 catches on 26 targets, 304 yards, 2 touchdowns, 878 receiving yards through 10 games. He could get through 1,000 yards in game number 11 here.
That would be unreal. And it's been 4 or 5 years of Hatcher, of that offense in BC, just producing receiver after receiver after receiver that put up yards, touchdowns. They catch everything that gets thrown their way, 50-50 balls, all that. It's been so fun to watch when they're not playing against your favorite team.
And I think the big difference here is that the way that they're running the ball, James Butler, he's got at least 80 yards on the ground in his past 3 games, 4 touchdowns in his last 3 games as well. Lit up his old team in the Ticats. But the Lions, they never really had that as a part of their game. And now it seems like whatever they do, Buck Pierce has the offense rolling. Now, they do have some players on defense, too. They're going to make you pay. They're going to make you at least think twice about catching the ball. Micah Awe, Gary Peters, Uncle Gary still makes it happen.
They're going to make you think twice about throwing the ball.
Yeah.
Let alone the receivers. They're going to make the quarterback think. Because, remember when it was it Gary Peters and who is Ryan Phillips? Why would you ever want to throw on those guys? It seemed like every night it was 2 picks.
Yeah. So this is crazy. Both of these teams are actually giving up the least passing yards on average, which Toronto is allowing 32 points a game. BC is about 27 points a game. But the passing yards, I guess early in the season, they must have had some strong games. At least Toronto. Because they're making fantasy quarterbacks look pretty darn good right now. And however, their offense taking a big blow as DeMonte Coxey is doubtful. He took that nasty hit late in the game against Edmonton. And then there was a scary moment in practice. Offensive lineman George Moore, I guess he hit the tackle dummy wrong. And had to leave in an ambulance with a neck injury. From the description, maybe he had a stinger, but he had a pain from his neck all the way down to his leg. So that's a scary situation there. And then Chad Kelly back onto the field on the 6-game injured list. I think it's been 4 games now, so he's allowed to practice. At what point? They are 3 points behind Montreal. Because right now it does look like there probably is going to be a crossover. Unless Ottawa... unless
Ottawa gets real hot.
Yes, unless Ottawa turns things around here. At what point do you just sit Kelly? Like, if the Argos are 2-10, is there a point in getting him in there? I know he's a competitor. I saw that podcast interview where he says he deserves a starting job in the NFL. He's not going to get it if he's sitting... Hey, I respect the confidence. Or is it a point where you're so confident that you're delusional? I don't know. But I'm kind of jealous of that. To be like so, cocky. Well,
that you are the world's greatest tag player.
I am pretty good at tag, or was. I was. Now I'm doing physio for a torn meniscus, so...
I mean, there's that. An old tag injury.
Yeah, an old tag injury. But, I mean, I know the competitor always wants to get on the field, but at 2-10...
So in all reality, the BC is, 6 points up on Toronto. Ottawa's 2. It's really only 4, or I guess 5, because a tie goes to the East Division.
Yeah.
I think it would be a hard sell to Kelly and the fans if they are still mathematically able to get that third spot and he is healthy enough to play. That's a hard sell.
Yeah.
Now, if he comes back in one game, gets hurt again, and your season's over, and maybe that injury leaks into next year, was it right? But then they could also go and win out. So I think if you're still mathematically in, I don't think you can sit him if he's ready to go.
We've seen some
he's your best option.
We've seen some crazy rallies, and they could squeak into third kind of thing, and all of a sudden. But hey, if BC wins this, then the distance is greater, Yeah. So, and then, of course, the Argos here have the Ticats on Labor Day. And the way the Ticats have been playing, not exactly a friendly matchup to the Double Blue, who have also struggled running the football. And that has been their bread and butter ever since Ryan Dinwiddie has shown up in Toronto. And
Ryan Dinwiddie also wanted to cut 80% of the team in week 2.
I'm so sad that they took down that post-game interview.
Cowards.
I agree. Like, come on.
That's number 2 all time.
What's number 1? Cavis
Consequences.
I saw a meme. Who is playoffs?
Jim Mora.
Yeah, there was a picture saying
we'll be lucky to win a game.
Saying, yes, I can hear pictures, like that kind of thing. If they post Cavis Reed with the towel, like he's literally
seething.
I can hear that picture. There has to be consequences. An all-time classic.
I knew there was going to be a way I could work that
in. So I always love the C&E game. There's the nice backdrop of the Ferris wheels and all the craziness happening there, and great ticket deals. It's one of the best attended Argo games of the year, and whoever buys a ticket is going to be able to watch a nice offense from, I think, both teams. I think it's going to be a fun game Saturday night or afternoon in Toronto.
It's going to feel like a Maction game. The only reason I bring that up is because we were talking about Ohio.
You got to work that in. You worked it in, man. Return of the Mac. And then the heavyweight battle this week is the Calgary Stampeders hosting the Roughriders. The Riders 1.5 point favorites here on the road, but the Stampeders are the 1 in the 8-1 for the Roughriders.
Much like the Riders were the 1 in the 1-16.
For
the Hamilton Tiger Cats in 04.
Yeah. The Riders have signed kicker Campbell Fair, who did spend...
To be expected.
Yes, he did spend time with the team before, but was let go. He did attend training camp with the Elks earlier this year. They were testing him already in practice, some of the situational stuff, and I guess he nailed a 56-yarder. Competition coming in for Brett Lothar. The last thing you want, if you're a really good team, is to not have that confidence in your kicker. And
San Francisco 49ers, Saskatchewan Roughriders, the list goes on.
Could manure come into play? That's such a Rough Rider thing. Manure on a kicker's lawn.
We make fun of Manitoba a lot. But
Manitoba would never do that.
Well, because they don't have cows. How would they get to Regina?
Yeah, it's a long walk.
in rubber boots.
But it's good to have competition at the kicking position for Brett Lothar, and we'll see if he gets to hang on to that job, man.
That's the one thing that makes me kind of love to hate and hate to love football at the same time, is that kickers become cult heroes, and then as fast as that happens, everybody hates them. They won by 20. Lowther went 2 for 5. Everybody hates him now.
Yeah, that's what everybody's talking about.
It's not is it a story? Yeah. Should it be leading? Probably not. Now, you nip it in the bud now. If he goes, 2 for 4, 2 for 5 again, then I think Fair's on the active roster next week, because you don't want to be going into Labor Day with that hanging over your head. But it's like as fast as they rise, as fast as they fall. We saw it with McCallum. Jamie Borum, was a punter, cult hero because of how he played.
Yeah.
When they brought in Shear's brother-in-law, everybody's like, oh, this is going to be great. And then all he does is punt singles. It's like, well,
he's putting points on the board.
I guess. No, he's putting a point on the board.
A point. So I look back when these teams last played, week 6, the Stamps getting a win, 24-10. Trevor Harris did throw for 400 yards in that one and a touchdown, but AJ Ouellette ran for 9 yards in that game, and Dedrick Mills, 14 carries, 85 yards. Vernon Adams Jr., 428 yards passing and 3 touchdowns in that one.
156 of those yards and 2 of those touchdowns were to rookie Alfred.
Yes, and Damian Alfred, who has missed a few weeks, could be back playing for the Stamps on Saturday. It helps that he's got veterans in the receiving corps like Tevin Jones, like Dominic Rhymes. So those Riders DBs, who earlier in the season, they were giving up a lot of passing yards. It seems to have slowed down now, but Vernon Adams Jr., he just seems to bring an it factor to Calgary, and there's going to be over 25,000 in the stands in Calgary. It's going to be rocking Saturday at the old dump at the University of Calgary. It's a nice dump, though.
Is it? That's an oxymoron.
It totally is.
Mind you, if you want to talk nice dumps, no, I won't go there. It's going to be rock. You got to think, Highway 1, it's going to be pretty busy going west. So I don't think it's going to be a pro-Saskatchewan crowd by any means, but I mean, it is the second largest city in Saskatchewan and Calgary. So I think it's going to be a little split. It's going to be loud. It's going to be awesome. And you talk about a guy like Vernon Adams. He's been around the league. He's played a lot of games. He's been on a lot of teams. He shows up, does his work. He had some really good seasons in BC there as their starter when Rourke was gone. he's just a guy that seems to bring it every week. You never feel like they're out of it until they're, until it's just not manageable anymore. That there's always that chance that he's going to put something together. And if Alford comes back, that's a big target for him.
And this is just a pivotal stretch on the Roughriders schedule. Last week was part one against the 6-3 Hamilton Tiger Cats, and they beat them by 20. This week is part
Missing
2.
3 field goals.
Yeah. And this week is part 2. And then parts 3 and 4 come against the Bombers. 2 sold-out games. One at Mosaic, one at Princess Auto Stadium, and then the Riders do host Montreal after that. But if they win 2 out of the next 3, 100%. Yeah, I'm on board. I'm very hesitant with calling.
I'm ready to get hurt again.
You are?
Yeah.
But if they beat Calgary here, wow. That is some serious distance in the West.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. They got 9 games left. There's a chance they go 7-2. More likely be 6-3 because if they clinch first, they're going to be resting guys those last 2 weeks.
So here's the thing: there's only 2 games between the Riders and the Stamps this year. So. The Riders need to win by 15, I guess, to officially win the season series. But if they do win, I mean, that's 9-1 against 6-4. So that's
there's a lot of ground for Calgary to make up.
That is a pretty good spot to be. But then I look after the Winnipeg games. It's Montreal, Edmonton, Ottawa, Toronto, and then Winnipeg and BC at the end of the season. It could be the best. I don't like to jinx things like this.
Oh, don't do it. Don't even do it.
But it could be the best regular season in Rough Rider. It could be.
You remind me of me before Game 1 against Florida this year.
Oh, they're going to sweep them.
Team this year, we're way better, and then we lose in one less game.
Yeah, and if there's one thing that Calgary fans hate, it's when a green team shows up at their stadium. It doesn't matter which one. And they get super offended by it. So it'll be fun to... Yeah, I haven't been to McMahon for a while. I got to get myself a Spudinator. They have a pretty good tailgate there.
Yes.
You'd think that the best tailgate in the CFL would be in Saskatchewan, but... Everybody's stuck in traffic at Chamberlain. So
or at that one house party by the old stadium.
Wayne's World.
Yeah.
Why in Saskatchewan do they do the check stop before the game? I'm just saying.
People booze cruise.
Yeah, but why not after the game?
Well, they do it after the game, just not in Chamberlain.
Oh, last time I went, they had the check stop before the game and not after the game.
Well, when we went to Labor Day, we didn't go through one before, but we hit one at Saskatoon.
Oh, okay. So enough
2019
time to. Never mind.
Don't. I was too hungover to drink, so it didn't really fucking matter.
Yeah, that's true. Because Burger King was closed. So there we go.
Dust off that old chestnut.
Week 12 of the 2025 CFL season. Oh, Sheldon sent me his fantasy lineup, and I got to check. Man,
good, because I refuse to play this year.
Yeah, I hear you, man. We need return yards and we need kickers. Those are my 2 requests.
Yeah.
So last week I had a loss in the CFL Podcast Fantasy League. Surprise, surprise. I'm 4-7. So look, I need a bye week coming up here.
So you can't lose.
I need to rest my team. Adam crushed me by 50 last week. What did Sheldon Jones do? Oh, he lost to Andrew, the Turf District. So this week I've got Scouts, the Elks herd. Who does Sheldon have? Oh, Kayla from the Turf District. So I have made a $0 lineup. and I'm very proud. I've had like 3 or 4 of them.
You're back on this, hey?
So Nathan Rourke, James Butler, Travis Tice, Nick Dembski, Dante Myers, Stanley Berryhill III, and the Edmonton Elks defense, $0.
I don't hate any of those picks.
Yeah, I'm pretty proud of it. Let's see what Sheldon did. Elks defense, Nathan Rourke, Justin Rankin, Travis Tice, Keon Hatcher, Nick Dembski, Aiden Eberhardt. There we go. Which means
Which is, when it comes to Sheldon in fantasy sports, I'm surprised he has that good of a lineup.
So here comes my 65-point week.
100%.
Yeah, not good.
69 point.
Nice. All right, let's go through the games here and lock in the picks. The Winnipeg Blue Bombers 7-point favorites over the Montreal Alouettes. The Edmonton Elks 3-point favorites in Ottawa. The BC Lions 3.5-point favorites in Toronto, and the Riders 1.5-point favorites in Calgary. Lock it in. I'm going road teams. I am going Winnipeg, Edmonton, BC, Saskatchewan, Brazilian Ty.
Calgary.
You're going
road
Stampeders.
Plus Calgary.
Okay.
Winnipeg, Edmonton, BC, Stamps. Yes, I do believe the Riders are for real. But I think at home, Calgary, the changes they've had on that defense this year and have still been what they are. And you get Alfred back. I don't think they blow the Riders out by any means. I think it's a 3-point game, but I just think Calgary pulled it out at the end. Man,
Calgary has had, rookies contributing on the offensive line, at receiver, first-year players on defense. All the contributions are coming from the right places and very quickly. It has been awesome to see. And that's why they were in the playoffs for, so many consecutive years before last year. That is week 12 of the 2025 CFL season. Let us know in the comments who you think are going to be winning the games this week. You can rate, review, and subscribe to the show on your favorite podcatcher and YouTube as well, and check out twoandout.ca. You can support us on Patreon there, and check out the Patreon exclusive fantasy league where I lead. The winner of the league is going to get themselves a CFL jersey at the end of the season. So I'm trying to pick out mine. I'm kind of thinking about a Derek Sluka Argos jersey. Or maybe a Sean Lemon Al's jersey just to make everybody mad.
You want all the heat.
I do. I love it. I'm hungry for it.
You're dirty Dom just crushing chicken fingers.
Chicken tendies all day long, man. I don't know what's going to happen on Sunday to recap week 12. Are you willing to come back?
Are you willing to have me?
I am. Which I didn't think I'd say either. Okay. We'll talk to you later on Two and Out.
The Two and Out CFL podcast is written, produced, and hosted by Travis Currah and co-hosted by Sheldon Jones. Subscribe to Two and Out on all major podcast platforms and YouTube to keep up to date with future shows.